Don't let road hazard ruin your fun. In the US and Canada, there are over 200 million flat tires each year. Get the confidence you need to drive worry-free with the RV Advisor Tire and Wheel Protection Plan that will replace your tires or wheels, install them at no cost with no deductible. The coverage can last up to 7 years. The longer the coverage, the more you save. The RV Advisor Tire and Wheel coverage also takes care of repair or replacement of tire or wheel parts, mounting and balancing, owned, borrowed, or leased vehicles and trailers, unlimited towing and mileage. To find out more, visit us at thervadvisor.com or email us at theinfo@thervadvisor.com.
This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Alexander. Welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. And today, I'm joined by Chris and Megan, and they're from Why Wait? And why wait? We're going to talk to them right now. Hi, folks. How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So right now, your winter home, I guess you could say, is in Texas, right?
Yep, this is our second winter here in Rockport, Texas. And we found a great group of folks at the campground, so we wanted to kind of come back and see them. And then we've also found a great group of other parents that homeschool for our little guy. So
Yeah.
we love it.
Terrific. Now, Rockport, where's Rockport near? Is that near one of the big towns, or is that?
Yeah. It's just up the coast, about 30 minutes north of Corpus Christi on the water.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
So, yeah. Well, when I heard port in the name, I assumed that you weren't too far from the Gulf. So,
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Great. And how's the weather right now there? Pretty comfortable?
Oh, it's been about 80 every day and low of about 70 at night and sunny and just absolutely beautiful for November.
Yeah. No, that'll work. That'll be perfectly fine.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to turn the air conditioning on in November. We'll take it.
Well, we're here based in South Florida, so we know all about that. And, we are finally hitting our nice stretch now of weather. November, it starts to really get quite comfortable, and we're having our nice, pleasant evenings as opposed to 100% humidity and walking through pea soup every night. That's never fun. So why wait? So tell us a little bit about the origin of the name and all that.
We had always kind of talked about living the RV lifestyle when I retired and waiting until I retired. And I have a job where I work on tugboats in New York City. And my whole life I've been traveling back and forth every 2 weeks. I go to the boat and I live on the boat for 2 weeks. And then I travel back home for 2 weeks. And we lived in Savannah and Charleston. And it was always kind of a long commute, you could say anyways.
Yeah.
So we started talking about it, and I said, well, why wait? Why wait until I retire to do this? I said, with my job, it sort of allows us to get on the road now and start doing the lifestyle that we wanted to.
We can live anywhere, so why does it have to be one place? So
Yeah. Right. So why wait? Exactly. And you're doing
so
it.
we made the transition, and wherever we're camping, as long as we're 2 hours within of an airport, I'll fly back to work, and then time to come home, I fly back to the camper. So
Wow. I mean, that's fantastic. So you've you're kind of living the best of both worlds, and you get to travel as well. So that's great. I mean, for folks that are, I mean, obviously we have a lot of RVers, full-timers that watch and listen to the podcast. But there are folks out there that are maybe part-timers or maybe have never done it or maybe have only thought about doing it. And so, they're kind of seeing what you guys do and say, hey, you know what? Maybe this is for us. And we find more and more people that are not retirees, people in your age demographic, more and more are making that transition to that lifestyle of being able to live on the road. It's had to have been a transition, I would imagine, a little bit of a
Well,
adjustment period?
both of us grew up with fathers that were in the military, that were career military guys. So
we're used to traveling around
used
our
to
whole
traveling
Moving
lives.
around.
and being
Yeah.
after either one of us was in, and it kind of lived anywhere for a couple years, kind of get the you know,
itch to move
yeah.
on.
So
So
this is great, and now we can do it, and
we can't
move when we want.
travel as fast as maybe some other RVers who may be moving every 3 or 4 or 5 days. The logistics of my work and knowing, hey, I have to be by an airport or somewhere and coming and going every 2 weeks, we tend to move a little bit slower. But we kind of like that. We think it works out. We really get a feel for the areas that we go to and a feel for the people and really get to explore them before we move on and don't miss a bunch of stuff kind of rushing through the country.
Yeah, and you've got another little guy with you. He makes the trip with you, and you say you're homeschooling as well, and
just started that, yeah.
And so he was sort of kind of born into this a little bit, traveling a lot.
A little bit, because even before we started the RV lifestyle, we had moved a few times. I think by the time he was age 5, he had already lived in 4 or 5 states before we even started the RV lifestyle. So for him, I think it just comes naturally.
Yeah. Where to now, Mom and Dad, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Where what's the next state? So he's already getting excited about our spring and summer for next year.
Going out west for the summer, and so he's excited about that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So where you're gonna hit the Great West, I guess, the big states out there. Huh?
All the national parks and do a whole summer of that.
Yeah. Oh, he'll never forget it. That'll be something that and we've said this many times before on the show, where people come on and they're traveling with their families and a lot of times young kids or maybe grandkids or something like that. And they're getting such a great education because they're experiencing cultures and different places in the country and different folks and learning so much. It's such an adventure. And look, travel is educational, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it is so educational. I felt like growing up moving, I felt like I got to see so much and do so much more than a lot of people or a lot of kids who kind of never left their state hardly.
Yeah.
So I want him to experience that. My older kids, we went someplace any chance we could get. And
we always make it an educational experience when we do go somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Field trip.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we want to learn a little bit more about what you guys are up to and hear a little more about that trip for next year and what's on the docket, and what we'll find out about all that right after we take a break. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm talking with Chris and Megan. My name's Tom Alexander. Back in just a moment.
The RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of the RV owners. We'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality control is in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org.
We're back on the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. My guests, plural, are Chris and Megan from Why Wait? They're full-timers living the dream, as it says right on their Instagram page. And I'm looking at some photos here, and you guys are living the dream. I'm looking at some of these great photos. Little guy fishing and having a lot of fun. Pretty cool stuff. And you've got now over 1,000 followers, which is pretty awesome, and growing every day.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about the idea of you decided to start sharing your adventures, your trips, and
I think it started with.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it started with the fact we wanted to just kind of document it for our families. An easier way for them to keep up with us and watch what we're doing instead of trying to send the grandparents all these pictures and this and that. I said, let's start making some videos and they can watch us on YouTube. And then it just we decided to just kind of grow it from there, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and it often starts that way, where it's just sort of a convenient way, I guess, to share with your friends and family, and then suddenly, lo and behold,
Yeah.
hey, who are these, 500 other people that just hopped on,
Yeah.
and then it grows from there, and suddenly you find that you've got a fan base, and it all starts like you guys, it starts with a few hundred to 1,000, and then 2,000 and 10,000, and it keeps going, and we've had a couple folks on that have in the hundreds of thousands of followers, and
Yeah.
it's astounding, and they've got their own like little kind of cottage industry business going on that they've got to keep keeping the flow going with content.
It's like a second job, sure,
It's
especially
a
when you get to
second
that big of a
job.
channel.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So they have to really, you know, pull it together. If like, it's like all of a sudden then they get complaints. It's like, hey, what did you do on Thursday? What the heck's going on here? You didn't post anything.
Yeah.
But
We're trying
you
to
guys
keep
don't
it
have
fun
quite
for a
that pressure.
while.
What's that?
So we want to keep it fun for a while, so we don't want it to feel like a job.
No,
So-
right. You want to enjoy it. I get you. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good idea to just do it at your leisure and enjoy the process. And obviously, you've got some great pictures here, and I'm looking at your RV. What do you ride around in these days? What do you travel?
It is a Grand Design Solitude 377 MBS, the mid-bunk style, about a 40-foot fifth wheel.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Comfortable, plenty of room.
Very-
Room.
Plenty
Yeah.
of room, been very happy with it. Getting the mid-bunk was really important for us so that our son had his own room, his own space.
Yeah.
That was important. We didn't want to be pulling out the couch every night.
No.
And,
I hear you. So
Didn't
he
want to have to
does,
tiptoe around, and
yeah.
so that was
So
the
when
best
he's
choice.
tired, you don't have, and you're tired. All he has to do is just hop in the bed, and he's good to go. Right? You don't have to worry about
Yeah.
moving things around.
loves it.
Good.
Yeah. He's got
Excellent.
his own space, and he'll need that. That'll be important as he gets a little older and older too. So having a space where he can get away from us. So,
Does he really? He needs to get away from you guys too. Sometimes, as it happens the other way.
Not yet, but
well, we
give it a few
embarrass him.
years.
We're already starting to embarrass him, I think.
I've experienced that myself. Mine's a little older. He's 23 now, but we still I think we still embarrass him sometimes. I like to now I just sort of enjoy it.
That's what
Yeah.
we're here for, right? You have to be able to, you have to have fun, embarrass them after a while. So
Absolutely. I can remember when my parents embarrassed me, and now it's like now I get to turn
Yeah.
the tables,
Payback.
right? Really make them as uncomfortable as you possibly can. I think is the
Yeah.
my older ones would tell you I probably, did that, embarrassed them. So
yeah.
we get to do it
But
again.
it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. So tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about you said you've got the national parks, the big western states next summer. Any place in particular that you're really eager to see us in particular? And
Yeah, well, we're gonna start off the trip by kind of starting out in Nevada because our one of our other grown sons is gonna be stationed out in Las Vegas there.
Oh,
So we'll spend 2 months in Nevada before we head up to the Idaho-Wyoming border for about 3 months, and obviously to check out Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons Park. And so I'd say we're mostly excited about that.
yeah. Have you been out there before, or is this a first time for you guys?
I
have not.
have been through, just
Kind of
My
passing
parents-
through.
with my parents as I grew up, but I haven't been as an adult, so I'm excited.
Good.
Yeah.
So
Got it
it'll
all planned out.
kind of be a new experience for everybody then, to really
Yeah.
firsthand really drink all that in. And I know that everything I've ever heard about those spots, like Yellowstone and Yosemite and where else? Mount Rushmore and the Badlands and all that, it always
Yep.
lives up to it always lives up to the hype. The Grand Canyon, all those
Hope
places.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
heard
If
anybody.
it looks as good as it does, sorry.
No. It's funny because I've just never heard anybody complain and say, yeah, I saw the Grand Canyon and wow, what a letdown. I've never
Yeah.
heard those words ever come out of anyone's mouth before. So I think I'd be knocked over, if somebody said that, because everybody says you got to see it to believe it. We've all seen pictures of things like that on television or in movies or whatever. But once you actually lay your eyes on it for real, it's from all accounts breathtaking. So
yeah, we're gonna try to hit up as much as we can while we're out there. We've mostly always been on the East Coast, so it's gonna, like you said, I think you meant everything you mentioned, from the Mount Rushmore to the Badlands, Grand Canyon. We're gonna try to do it all. So
good for you. Well, you got plenty of time. It sounds like it's has COVID affected you guys any at all? Like, if it's slowed you up a little bit here and there? You guys certainly look healthy. You look like you're doing fine.
a little bit. When we left Texas last year around April, when things just first started ramping up, we were going from Texas to Pennsylvania. And again, I had it kind of all mapped out how to get there and where we were staying. And some of the states started shutting down campgrounds. I believe Virginia and parts of Maryland. So we kind of had to change the trip and change where we were like stopping for overnighters. But other than that, it hasn't been too much of an issue. It was nice to be up in Pennsylvania for the summer because I could actually drive back to New York City to go to work.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to rely on the airlines, which were getting pretty shady there for a while.
Yeah. Where were you in Pennsylvania?
We're about half an hour, 45 minutes from Harrisburg.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
close enough to Gettysburg, and
we spent a couple trips we took to Gettysburg.
30 minutes from Hershey. We did Hershey. So once things started opening back up, we were still able to experience it.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And then, like you said, not a killer trip to get to New York from there.
No.
I actually grew up in the Pocono area of Pennsylvania, the eastern part of the state. So
okay,
pretty familiar.
It's beautiful in that area.
Yeah, gorgeous, and it was situated, kind of nestled between about the same driving distance to New York and Philly. From that spot of the state. So it was made it a morning trip. No big deal. So well, good. It sounds like you guys have a whole plan set up for 2021, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun and new adventures. That's great.
We hope so. We're really looking forward to it, and just it's always something to look forward to, always something new to see and and to experience, and also not only for us but for the little guy. And he just eats it up. Everything's new and fresh, and it's really neat to see through his eyes.
Terrific. Yeah, absolutely. It's so special when you're that age and you're seeing it all and experiencing it all for the first time. That's great. And not bad for mom and dad either, especially when you see things you haven't seen before. Pretty
I can't complain.
Stuff.
Yep, we'll take it.
And the Boston Terriers go with you, right?
Yep.
Whether they want to or not. No, they're pretty good travelers at this point. So we take them everywhere we go. We never bored them, even when we were not in the RV. We just piled them in the car and took them along.
Off they go. All right, I love it. Well, listen, folks, thank you so much for taking the time out to join us. Tell our viewers and our listeners where they can find you on Instagram.
We're on Instagram under Why Wait is where you can find us, and same name for the YouTube channel as well.
Terrific. All right. Well, there we go. Chris and Megan, we really do appreciate your time, and safe travels to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us on. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Absolutely. My name is Tom Alexander. This is the RV Advisor Podcast. We'll be back in just a moment. RVACA is a charitable organization protecting the rights of RV owners. With your help, we'll work with dealers and manufacturers to ensure quality controls in place prior to delivery of an RV. Additionally, the RVACA provides assistance to disaster relief victims. Visit rvaca.org. Hey, everybody, we are back on the RV Advisor podcast. And of course, I am joined by our guest coordinator and purveyor of all features and things and fun stuff here on on the show.
Hello.
Neve Carey Zacco. Hey, Neve, how you doing?
Well, how are you doing, Tom?
Doing great. And I know we've got look, listen, we've got big plans for 2021. We're looking forward to contests and all kinds of stuff, right?
Oh, hell yeah. We have so much stuff in the works right now. We have competitions that we're working on, and for myself, I wanted to jump back on here and say that we really want to hear from the consumer, from our followers, from our members, what they'd like to see, what type of competitions they'd like. We want to make sure what we are putting out on social media and across the RV Advisors website is what they are looking for. Whether it's the type of competition, favorite photo, so on and so forth, or what they'd like to win if they were to enter a competition. So between everything, we're just looking for any information anyone would be willing to give us. And as well as that, we're actually still looking and always looking for new people to have on our podcast, as you're aware, Tom, since you're the host. So if you know someone that in your family, someone that travels, yourself, that, would be willing to come on for a 15-minute segment, we would love to have them. They can reach out to us via the RV Advisor website or to me directly at ncarey@theRVadvisor.com. So that's NCAREY at theRVadvisor.com. And yeah, we would just love to have, some new faces, hear some new stories of on the road and any tips and tricks anyone could give us. So yeah, between everything, we're excited for new content is basically where we're at right now. Awesome.
Well, that pretty much says it all. And I appreciate your time. I know you're constantly busy. Every time we talk, when we do a Zoom for staff meetings or anything else, I think that this is the first time I've ever actually seen you sit, because you're always in motion. We were joking around that I think I know the entire, even though I've never been to your house, I think I know your entire house, every corner, every nook and cranny of your entire estate there where you are. I mean, it's because you're constantly moving around, and with two kids, young kids,
keep me busy.
It's a big deal, right? It is.
It's tough. It's fun, but tough.
I'm sure. Well, listen, thanks for cluing us in on everything, going on. And also, again, if you, like Neve said, if you're interested in coming on, you can contact her at Carey, Carey. N is in Neve or Nancy or any word that starts with an N. Right?
Yes.
Carey at the RVadvisor.com. There you go, folks. Well, Neve, thank you so much. And,
of course, my pleasure.
Yeah, and listen, have a happy Thanksgiving.
I'm so excited for all the food.
It's one of my all-time favorite holidays.
It's the best.
It is. It's the what do we used to say? The 4F Club. It was family, food, football, and fun.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So
that's so fun.
Yeah, there you go. So it's pretty cool. Have a great Thanksgiving, folks. Everybody watching. I know we have in this crazy year. We certainly have a lot to be grateful for.
We sure do.
That we're together, and that's what really counts, right? Even if we're not together in person, we can do these kinds of Zoom things and see our loved ones, and that's what's important. So anyway,
for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Neve. Take care. Enjoy your holiday, and we'll see you.
Thank you.
Next time. So long, everybody.